The part in the manifestation process where people get stuck is the sacrifice phase. Why am I so red over here? Also, sorry if you hear dog chomping. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your time, your leisure, your rest to go and get something done. Tending to your garden takes discipline. It takes work and energy and resources to make a manifestation happen. Everything in this universe happens in exchange. If you want to pour something out into the universe, you have to also be willing to receive. If you want to receive something from the universe, you also have to be willing to pour into it. So, example, a business doesn't just boom overnight because somebody creates a social media account and creates a website and posts about it one time. A business booms because people are pouring in time, energy, love, and resources into it. Example of a mother and their creation, their child. A child isn't just born out of nothing. The child takes the mom's resources and energy to create itself, and creation works the same for you. Your manifestations work the same for you. When I first started my tarot business, I would literally work at the restaurant from like 4 to closing. I would get home, make my dinner, settle in, and around midnight, I would start to do readings for clients. I would study material, occult material, so I continued to make content, and then I would make that content, and then it would be like 6 a.m. and it'd be time for me to shower, and I would sleep, and I'd do it all over again. I was hustling. I was sacrificing time with my friends. I was sacrificing sleep. Okay, my sleep schedule was all messed up. And at that point, I was down to. I wanted to change every single situation about my life. I wanted to change the job, the living situation, the friend group, all of it. I was down to sacrifice it. So I put in that necessary work, sweat, and tears, and I created a solid foundation for my manifestation to be built on. 6 months later, I moved out of my mom's house. Funny enough, the place that I moved into was on my north node line of purpose. I met new people, I met my partner, I laid a foundation down for the best transformation I've had yet. And I think, again, that's the part where people get stuck. They're not willing to make the sacrifice. They're not willing to let go of the old friend group. They're not willing to work, 2 jobs at a time while they're building up their business. They're not willing to sacrifice or suffer. You'll hear so many spiritualists talk about sacrifice and suffering, but it's for a reason. It's because it's a part of divine law. You give, you get. You sacrifice for something, people pour that back into you. It's not a real sacrifice because it all comes back. It's also the lessons of Saturn and Jupiter. Things restrict and then they expand. Things restrict and then they expand. The good thing is that you're not stagnant. You're not stuck. Whatever you're not willing to sacrifice, the best person is Alex Hermosi. We're also in a Saturn-ruled year right now. This year is ruled by the number 8. 8 tends to be ruled by the planet Saturn, so we're in the Saturn-ruled year. You could also argue that it's a Plutonian type of year if you follow astrology and you think of the 8th house as ruled by Scorpio, and Scorpio is ruled by Pluto in modern astrology, or even Mars in traditional astrology. So you could also argue that it's a Plutonian or a Martian year, but either way, those planets, Saturn, Mars, and Pluto, are malefic planets. It's a bit of a tougher year. This is also a year where we have Pluto retrograding back into Capricorn and then moves direct into Aquarius for good. So there's a little bit of like this in-between period that we're all bouncing, back and forth in this year. It's like we're trying to make those sacrifices of that old life while we're building up the new one, which is why I wanted to bring this topic up. So if you feel like you're in between phases, that's completely normal. That's completely aligned with the astrology and the energy. I think the flip side to everything I was talking about is when you are ready to sacrifice something, but it's not quite time yet. Like you are ready to let go of that job and go for your business full time, but the business isn't there yet. There's still some more work to do, some nurturing to do. Be patient with yourself. Let those endings come organically because they will, and you will know when it's time. And if you're in a phase where you're not willing to make those sacrifices yet, that's also okay. You're not ready for the manifestation yet. You're not ready for that to become your reality. You don't really want things to change. That's how you need to give yourself more time. Again, let things come organically. And remember, the reason why you're being pushed to level up or make a change in the first place is because you've earned it. There's something about your karma, there's something about what you're doing where it's time to go bigger and better. You've raised your frequency enough to match this new reality, or maybe you are raising it and so you feel that new reality coming to to you. It's on the horizon. Trust that process. And also know when you make these sacrifices for yourself, it's not a real sacrifice, okay? It pours back into you. The universe will lovingly pour back into you. Your future self will be thankful that you did that, and that your future self will pour back into you. It's not a real loss. It's a gain. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tania Bright. I have been studying occult philosophy, spirituality, and healing on my own for the last 7 years. If you want to learn more about me, you can check out the link in my bio, check out my page, see if you like the vibe. I would check me out on Twitter too. That's where I post the bulk of my work. That's kind of where I first started. It's my biggest platform, so you can check me out there too. I hope to see you around. Bye.